Never Get Angry Again, The Foolproof Way to Stay Calm and in Control in Any Situation by David J. Lieberman is an insightful guide that unpacks the causes of anger and offers actionable strategies for mastering this powerful emotion. Drawing from psychology, neuroscience, and practical wisdom, Lieberman explains that anger is far more complex than a simple reaction to an irritating situation. It is often deeply rooted in feelings of inadequacy, unmet expectations, and a sense of losing control over life's circumstances. These internal drivers manifest as anger when triggered by external events, but the true origin of the emotion lies within the individual's psyche. Lieberman begins by exploring the psychological underpinnings of anger, emphasizing that it is rarely about the immediate situation but rather a response to underlying emotional wounds. He identifies the ego as a central factor in this process. When the ego feels threatened, whether through criticism, rejection, or failure, it reacts defensively, often in the form of anger. This reaction is particularly pronounced when the individual feels vulnerable or insecure. Lieberman notes that people with fragile self-esteem are more likely to experience anger as a way to shield themselves from deeper emotions such as shame, fear, or sadness. The book also delves into the neurological basis of anger, focusing on the role of the amygdala, the brain's emotional center. Lieberman explains that the amygdala governs the fight-or-flight response, which is activated in moments of perceived danger or stress. When the amygdala is overstimulated, it bypasses the rational parts of the brain, leading to impulsive and often irrational reactions. This is why anger can feel overwhelming and uncontrollable. Lieberman emphasizes that while this neurological response is natural, it can be retrained through deliberate practice and self-awareness, allowing individuals to respond more calmly and rationally to stressors. A significant portion of the book is dedicated to helping readers understand their personal anger triggers. Lieberman encourages introspection, asking readers to examine the situations, thoughts, and emotions that consistently provoke their anger. By identifying these triggers, individuals can begin to recognize patterns in their emotional responses and take proactive steps to address them. For example, someone who feels angered by perceived disrespect may need to explore deeper insecurities about their self-worth and develop healthier ways to affirm their value. One of the central themes of the book is the importance of perspective in managing anger. Lieberman argues that anger often arises from our interpretations of events rather than the events themselves. For instance, a driver cutting you off in traffic might feel like a personal affront, but reframing the situation to consider that the driver might be rushing to an emergency can help diffuse the anger. This ability to reframe situations is a skill that can be cultivated over time, and Lieberman provides practical exercises to help readers develop this habit. Lieberman also introduces a range of techniques for managing anger in the moment. These include mindfulness practices, such as focusing on the breath or observing one's emotions without judgment, which can help calm the nervous system and prevent anger from escalating. He also advocates for cognitive reframing, which involves challenging negative thought patterns and replacing them with more constructive ones. For example, instead of thinking, "This always happens to me," one might reframe the thought to, "This is a temporary inconvenience, and I can handle it." Empathy is another powerful tool in Lieberman's anger management arsenal. He explains that understanding the perspectives and motivations of others can reduce the intensity of anger by fostering compassion. For instance, recognizing that a colleague's harsh words might stem from their own stress or insecurities can help you respond with understanding rather than hostility. Lieberman also highlights the importance of forgiveness, not as a favor to the other person but as a way to free yourself from the burden of resentment. The book addresses chronic anger as well, which Lieberman links to unresolved emotional wounds from the past. These wounds might stem from childhood experiences of neglect, criticism, or abandonment, which create a heightened sensitivity to perceived threats in adulthood. For those dealing with chronic anger, Lieberman recommends seeking therapy or engaging in deep self-reflection to uncover and heal these underlying issues. He also emphasizes the value of self-compassion, encouraging readers to treat themselves with kindness and patience as they work through their emotional challenges. Building emotional resilience is another key focus of the book. Lieberman explains that resilience acts as a buffer, reducing the likelihood of anger by enabling us to cope more effectively with stress and adversity. Practices such as gratitude, setting healthy boundaries, and engaging in regular self-care are essential for cultivating resilience. He also encourages readers to prioritize their physical health, as factors like sleep deprivation, poor nutrition, and lack of exercise can exacerbate emotional reactivity. Ultimately, Never Get Angry Again is not just about managing anger but about creating a calmer, more fulfilling life. Lieberman emphasizes that anger management is a lifelong skill that requires consistent effort and reflection. By addressing both the psychological and physiological aspects of anger, he offers readers a comprehensive framework for transforming their emotional responses and building a more balanced and peaceful existence.